So according to this, it says use the trigonometric ratio identity tangent of theta equals sine of theta over cosine of theta, then calculate tangent of 60 degrees. So really what they're saying is that tangent of 60 degrees is equal to sine of 60 degrees all over cosine of 60 degrees. Okay. But I want to, on a side note, and we'll do that in a second, but let me just prove to you that that's true. What's tangent? That's the opposite over the adjacent, right? Okay. What's sine of theta? The opposite over the hypotenuse, right? What's cosine of theta? Adjacent over the hypotenuse. So technically, we're taking the opposite over the hypotenuse and dividing it by, right? Because the fraction is the top number being divided by the bottom number, right? The only thing is that the bottom number, remember this O over H, those are two numbers. A over H are two numbers. So I'm really taking a fraction and dividing by a fraction, right? When you divide by a fraction, what do you really do? You multiply by the reciprocal, which is H over A. So here I have O times H all over H times A. But what happens with the H's? H divided by H is just 1, so you're left with the opposite over the adjacent. Congratulations, you just learned your first identity. So that's going to be true. So basically what I got to do is I got to do sine of 60 over cosine of 60. So sine of 60, oh, this is a lot of work. You don't need a calculator for this. Remember that the 60-degree angle is here. But it's 1, 2, square root of 3. So this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse, and this is the adjacent of 60. Right? So also sine of theta is the opposite, which is the square root of 3, all over 2, which we just set on the other problem, right? Cosine of theta is just going to be 1 over 2, right? The adjacent over the hypotenuse. So if I say the square root of 3 over 2 all over 1 over 2, I'm really saying the square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. But what do I do? I'm going to say the square root of 3 over 2 times the reciprocal. The 2's cancel, and I get the square root of 3 over 1, which is the square root of 3. Now we can verify that with a fancy calculator. You ready, set, go? Watch this. So make sure I'm in degree mode. It is in degree mode. Let me make this a little bigger. So if I say sine of 60 degrees, right, divided by cosine of 60 degrees, I'm going to get 1.73, which is the square root of 3. And then to verify that that's actually tangent, so if I say tangent of 60 degrees, see? that's it. We'll slide that over there. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions on the homework?